Since time immemorial, humanity has sought to decipher the mysteries of the psyche, attempting to understand the hidden forces that move, define, and transform us. Carl Jung dedicated his life to studying the unconscious and discovered that within each person exist archetypal energies that shape how we experience reality. Feminine energy is one of the most powerful forces within the human psyche. It is not merely a characteristic exclusive to women, but a universal principle present in all human beings. A flow of intuition, creativity, and connection with the deepest essence of being. But what does it truly mean to connect with this energy, and how can it transform your life? Imagine for a moment that you have been living with a part of yourself completely dormant, a part that connects you to a wisdom beyond reason, allowing you to flow with life rather than struggle against it. This energy has been suppressed, misunderstood, and often ignored, creating profound imbalance in society and our own lives. When Jung spoke of the anima, he referred to the feminine principle within the unconscious of men, a manifestation of their sensitivity, their capacity to feel, intuit, and connect with the irrational and symbolic. But the anima is not merely an internal aspect of men. It is a bridge to a more authentic and fulfilling way of living. Jung also described the animus, the masculine principle within the feminine unconscious, as a force guiding action, logic, and assertiveness. Integrating anima and animus allows us to transcend gender stereotypes and achieve a balanced identity. Disconnection from feminine energy has led many to live in constant tension, seeking to control everything, rationalizing every decision, and ignoring the language of the soul. Jung taught that the psyche is in a perpetual search for equilibrium, and that feminine energy is an essential component of this internal harmony. Perhaps you felt this in your own life, a sense that something is missing, that you're trapped in a cycle of unmet expectations, unable to truly feel or let go. In a world that prioritizes productivity over intuition and logic over emotion, many have learned to disconnect from their true nature. But feminine energy cannot be repressed indefinitely. It manifests in dreams, inexplicable sensations, attraction to the unknown, and the need to find meaning beyond the material. When we ignore these signals, life reminds us through crises, existential voids, superficial relationships, or a lingering sense of dissatisfaction. The key to awakening this energy lies not in seeking it externally, but in recognizing its presence within. Jung said the unconscious communicates through symbols and archetypes, and everything in our lives reflects our inner world. Observe how you relate to intuition, mystery, and the flow of life. Do you listen to your inner voice? Or do you demand rational explanations for everything? Do you trust your instincts, or do you seek safety in control? Feminine energy is the source of creativity, connection to the subtle, and that which cannot be measured or confined to formulas. Jung understood the feminine in the psyche as a portal to the unconscious, a force guiding us toward profound transformation if we dare to listen. In mythology, the feminine has always been linked to water, the ocean, and depth. It is no coincidence Jung saw in dreams and water symbolism a representation of the unconscious and the need to dive into the unknown for answers. In Greek mythology, Aphrodite arose from the sea's waters, symbolizing creation and intuitive beauty. In Egyptian tradition, Isis embodied maternal wisdom and connection to nature's cycles. These archetypes reflect the feminine energy's timeless link to mystery and depth. But diving into the unconscious is not easy. The rational mind fears losing itself in that sea of uncertainty, craving clear definitions, immediate results, and relentless logic. This is where conflict begins. Instead of flowing with life, we try to dominate and mold it to our expectations, ignoring the soul's language. When you allow feminine energy to take its rightful place in your life, subtle yet profound changes emerge. Your perception expands. You notice patterns once overlooked. You feel more connected to others and your surroundings. Intuition awakens, and you begin to trust life's process rather than forcing outcomes. This does not mean rejecting reason or structure. Jung taught that true balance lies in integration, allowing feminine and masculine energies to coexist harmoniously. It is not about choosing one over the other, but learning to listen to both voices within. Think of moments when you were in a state of flow, where everything aligned effortlessly, opportunities arrived unexpectedly, and life seemed to respond to your energy. This is what happens when you let feminine energy express itself. The question is, how can you awaken this energy in your life? It begins with reconnecting to yourself. Jung spoke of individuation, the journey toward wholeness. Individuation, for Jung, is the process of becoming who you truly are by integrating conscious and unconscious aspects of the psyche, including repressed shadows and archetypes. To connect with your feminine energy, you must slow down, observe, and allow yourself to feel without judgment. Start by listening to your intuition. How often have you ignored a gut feeling, only to later realize it was true? Intuition is not fantasy. It is the unconscious's language, guiding us toward what we truly need. Create moments of stillness and introspection. Feminine energy flourishes in presence, the here and now. Meditation, writing, art, and connecting with nature awaken this inner power. Observe your relationship with uncertainty. Does the lack of answers distress you? Or can you trust life to unfold in its own rhythm? Control is an illusion. Jung taught that true transformation occurs when we stop resisting and start flowing. Connecting with feminine energy transforms not only your inner world but also your relationships. When you allow yourself to be authentic, vulnerable, and receptive, you forge deeper, more meaningful bonds. Relationships cease to be power struggles and become spaces for mutual growth. Throughout history, feminine energy has been marginalized, seen as weak, irrational, or chaotic. Yet it is one of the psyche's most potent forces, the source of life, creativity, and connection to the sacred. Now is the time to reclaim this power, not through struggle or imposition, but by reconnecting with what has always been within. Jung said the shadow contains all we have repressed, and within our collective shadow lies feminine power, waiting to be reclaimed. The world needs more people connected to their essence, intuition, and ability to create from the soul. It begins with you. Today, you can choose: continue living in fear, disconnection, and rigidity, or step into a more authentic, fulfilling life aligned with who you truly are. When you decide to listen to your intuition, flow, and integrate what you've denied, something shifts. You begin to see signs, unexpected opportunities, and encounters that feel destined. Jung called this synchronicity, not coincidence but a reflection of your internal transformation manifesting externally. For instance, you might dream of a specific symbol and later encounter it in a casual conversation or artwork, signaling an insight your unconscious was already processing. The question is, are you ready to awaken? When you awaken the feminine energy within, everything in your life transforms. It is not merely an internal shift but a complete reconfiguration of how you interact with the world. You realize the universe is not random but a reflection of your own consciousness. Jung spoke of synchronicity as the link between inner and outer, the sense that the right moment, person, or opportunity arrives effortlessly, as if orchestrated at a deeper level. This does not happen by chance. It happens when you stop resisting life and flow with it. Feminine energy bridges this state of total connection with the universe. It is not passivity, weakness, or resignation. It is the ability to trust, surrender to the process, and retain your essence. True strength lies not in constant struggle, but in the wisdom of knowing when to act and when to let go. From childhood, society teaches us to live in constant alert, chasing the next goal, seeking external validation. We become prisoners of compulsive action, unable to be present. But what if you paused? What if, instead of running, you chose to listen? Instead of controlling, you allowed life to unfold? This is feminine energy's power. It does not mean ceasing action, but acting from clarity and purpose rather than anxiety and fear. Reflect. How often have you ignored an inner voice because it seemed illogical? How often have you forced yourself down a path out of obligation? How often have repressed your true desires for fear of judgment? Jung taught that repressed energy does not disappear. It hides in the psyche's shadows, manifesting unexpectedly, draining relationships, suffering, or an unshakable void despite outward success. But you cannot deceive your soul. It will remind you who you are, through crises, unexpected encounters, or a deep longing for something indefinable. When you connect with feminine energy, you hear your inner voice clearly. You discover answers need not be sought externally. They are already within. You learn to trust your feelings, honor intuition, and stop justifying what does not resonate. This process radically transforms relationships. Aligned with your truth, you no longer tolerate draining connections, seek external approval, or force yourself into ill-fitting molds. You attract those in tune with your essence, relationships rooted in balance, respect, and mutual growth. Feminine energy teaches you to give without losing yourself, receive without guilt, and release without fear of loneliness. Try meditating while visualizing a flowing river. Observe how water adapts to terrain without resistance. Or journal moments when intuition guided decisions, even if they initially seemed illogical. In Jungian psychology, the anima, in men, and animus, in women, represent the hidden parts we must integrate for wholeness. A man disconnected from his feminine energy becomes rigid, insensitive, and unable to embrace vulnerability. A woman disconnected from her masculine energy may feel lost, directionless, and unable to act. When these energies harmonize, an extraordinary presence emerges, authentic power that needs no imposition, confidence independent of validation. The key: feminine energy is not merely a tool for improving external relationships, but the key to transforming the most important one, your relationship with yourself. Cultivating this energy reveals self-love as a daily practice. You allow rest without guilt, explore passions, and stop seeking externally what is already within. Society equates value with productivity and achievement, but Jung showed true worth lies in being, presence, feeling, and authentic connection with life. Look around. Many live disconnected, trapped in empty routines, seeking external fulfillment. But wholeness comes not from success, validation, or accumulation. It comes from connecting with your essence. This begins when you explore who you truly are. Stop repressing feelings and accept intuition as valuable as reason, sensitivity as strength, and mystery as life's essence. Jung said individuation is a journey toward wholeness, non-linear, unpredictable, and challenging. It requires courage to unlearn societal conditioning and dive into the unknown. Here, feminine energy becomes your greatest ally, teaching trust, surrender, and alignment with life's flow. As you begin living from this space, the external world mirrors your internal transformation. Opportunities arrive timely, the right people appear, and obstacles dissolve. Not because life changes, but because you have. Ask yourself, what part of you have you repressed? What if you allowed yourself to be who you truly are, without fear, excuses, or masks? When you do, you'll discover what Jung wanted us to understand. Life's true magic lies not in seeking externally, but in remembering what has always been within. When you remember this, you realize life is not random. Every experience, person, and emotion is part of a deeper pattern emerging from your unconscious. Jung taught that what we do not make conscious eventually manifests as fate. If you ignore your inner truth, life will place it before you repeatedly until you choose to see it. How often have you repeated the same stories? Relationships ending similarly, opportunities vanishing, paths leading to dissatisfaction. This is unintegrated energy-seeking expression. Ignored feminine energy becomes internal chaos. The shadow, in Jungian terms, is the repository of everything we reject in ourselves, fears, desires, or neglected talents. Integrating it is essential to releasing trapped feminine energy. A void filled with distractions, superficial relationships, and insatiable goals. But when you honor it, profound change occurs. You feel connected to your body, emotions, and life's essence. True fulfillment is not about doing more, but being more, inhabiting existence with awareness, authenticity, and presence. Jung said the unconscious communicates through symbols, images, and sensations. Answers often lie not in logic, but in what we feel deeply. Recall moments of inexplicable certainty, meeting someone and knowing their impact, making a decision with unwavering conviction. These are feminine energy in action, guiding without rational explanation. Yet, in a control-obsessed society, we distrust intuition, valuing only what is measurable. But life cannot be reduced to equations. Beauty, creativity, love, and spirituality What gives existence meaning, emerge from the intangible, the mysterious. Ignoring feminine energy disconnects us from wonder, spontaneity, and sensitivity. Reclaiming this connection does not reject reason or structure. Jung taught wholeness lies in integrating opposites. Masculine and feminine energies are not enemies but complements. Most live in extremes, trapped in rigid logic or emotional chaos. Balance is key. When you move between planning and flowing, action and patience, you harmonize with existence. This transformation changes not only your self-relationship but all around you. Those in equilibrium radiate magnetic energy. They attract effortlessly, opportunities flow, relationships deepen, and creativity surges. This is not magic. It is the natural manifestation of one who listens inward, stops self-conflict, and lives in alignment. Now consider, if you connected with your ignored self today, how would life change? What doors would open if you trusted intuition, allowed feeling, and surrendered control? Jung's truth. Your reality reflects your inner state. Inner chaos manifests externally. Inner harmony mirrors outwardly. You need not seek externally, it is already within. When you remember this, you see the world anew. External validation fades. Only your own approval matters. Relationships become growth spaces, and life flows naturally. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Ignoring your soul's needs perpetuates patterns and dissatisfaction. But choosing introspection changes everything. This path requires courage to face shadows, patience to unlearn, and trust in the process. Yet in doing so, you discover the power always within. Integrating feminine energy, balancing intuition with action, receptivity with determination, softness with strength, allows you to live authentically. From this place, everything changes. This message is an invitation. Look, within question, connect with your ignored self. As more awaken and live authentically, the world transforms. If this resonates, share it with someone seeking answers. Together we expand knowledge and create a community where introspection, self-awareness, and transformation thrive. Comment below. What part touched your soul? Your story and words may inspire others. Subscribe and enable notifications for more content. Every interaction spreads this message to minds ready to awaken. Remember, what you seek is already within. You need only the courage to see it. True power lies not in changing the external world, but transforming your inner world. To begin, spend 10 minutes today reflecting. What aspect of my life is calling for more fluidity and less control? Explore works like Jung's Man and his symbols to dive deeper into this journey. Until next time, never forget, awakening begins with you.